The distress signal reached Admiral Kex Theron's flagship just as he was preparing to retire to his quarters for the night cycle. The automated translation matrix struggled with the garbled transmission, but 3 words came through with terrifying clarity. Deathworlders are coming. Admiral Kex Theron's four-armed form tensed as he rushed back to the bridge of the Imperial dreadnought Absolute Authority. His species, the Valkyrie, had conquered 17 star systems through methodical expansion and overwhelming technological superiority. They'd never encountered serious resistance. Until now. Report, he barked at his communications officer. Sir, we're receiving emergency transmissions from our outer monitoring stations. Multiple contacts approaching from the direction of Sol System. Energy signatures consistent with. The officer paused, rechecking his readings. Sir, these match the profiles of Deathworlder technology. The bridge fell silent. Every Valkyrie present understood what this meant. 3 months ago, the Empire had made what seemed like a routine decision to claim the uninhabited system of ROS-128 for mineral extraction. The system contained no sapient life, fell within acceptable expansion parameters, and should have been a simple annexation. They'd ignored the small notation in their files that the system was claimed by something called Earth. How many ships? Admiral Kex Theron asked, though his military training already told him the answer would be bad. Sir, initial count shows 47 vessels. But sir, the officer's voice climbed toward panic. These aren't normal ship classifications. We're reading power signatures that exceed our theoretical maximums. Admiral Kex Theron pulled up the tactical display, studying the approaching fleet with growing unease. The ships were smaller than his dreadnoughts, but something about their energy patterns suggested violence barely contained beneath sleek hulls. Sir, interrupted his science officer, I've been analyzing the Deathworlder technology signatures. These ships appear to be designed for combat in environments that would destroy our vessels. Their armor is rated for pressures that would crush our hulls. Their weapons are designed to function in gravitational fields that would tear apart our targeting systems. Explain. Admiral, Deathworlders don't just come from dangerous planets, they design their technology to operate in dangerous conditions. Their ships are built to fight in the coronas of stars, in the gravitational wells of black holes, in radiation fields that would sterilize entire solar systems. The implications sank in slowly. The Valkyrie Empire had built their fleet to fight other civilized species in the comfortable vacuum of normal space. The approaching ships had been designed to wage war in hell itself. Sir, incoming transmission from the Deathworlder fleet. On screen, the main display filled with the image of a human female sitting in what appeared to be a military command center. Behind her, Admiral Kex Theron could see crew members moving with the kind of efficient calm that suggested extensive combat experience. I'm Admiral Sarah Reyes of the Terran Defense Force, she began without preamble. You are in violation of Terran territorial sovereignty. You have established mining operations in the ROS-128 system without authorization. Admiral Kex Theron drew himself up to his full imposing height. I am Admiral Kex Theron of the Valkyrie Imperial Fleet. We do not recognize your territorial claims. This system contained no sapient life. Admiral Reyes' expression didn't change. ROS-128 contains the Gliese Research Station, a facility monitoring potentially habitable exoplanets. 47 scientists and their families live on that station. Your mining operations have disrupted their life support systems. A handful of researchers cannot claim an entire star system, Admiral Kex Theron declared. The Valkyrie Empire's rights superseded. Admiral Reyes interrupted, her voice carrying an edge that made the bridge temperature seem to drop several degrees. You just told me that you've endangered 47 human civilians. That changes this from a territorial dispute to a rescue operation. Rescue operation? You're going to immediately cease all mining activities, evacuate your personnel from the system, and provide medical assistance to anyone affected by your unauthorized presence. Then you're going to withdraw to your own territory and never return. Admiral Kex Theron's forearms gestured in dismissive arrogance. You command fewer than 50 ships against my force of 300 vessels. Your demands are absurd. Admiral Reyes tilted her head slightly, studying him with the kind of expression a predator might use when deciding whether prey was worth the effort to catch. Admiral, let me explain something about Deathworlder military doctrine. We don't measure fleet strength by ship count. We measure it by operational capability in hostile environments. The tactical display behind her lit up with sensor data that made Admiral Kex Theron's scales crawl. The human ships weren't just approaching, they were approaching through the Ross 128 star's corona using the stellar radiation as cover while their shields casually deflected energy that would have vaporized Valkyrie vessels. Your ships are beautiful, Admiral Reyes continued conversationally. Elegant, efficient, perfectly designed for combat in the comfortable vacuum of deep space. But we're not in deep space, are we? She gestured to her tactical displays, which showed the Ross 128 system in detail. The star was in an active phase, spewing radiation and charged particles that would play havoc with most ship systems. The asteroid field where the Valkyrie had established their mining operation was thick with debris that would shred anything moving at combat velocities. This system is what we'd call a hostile environment, Admiral Reyes explained. Radiation storms, gravitational anomalies, debris fields, unstable stellar activity. The kind of place where normal ships have to operate very, very carefully. Admiral Kextheron watched in growing horror as the human fleet began deploying into combat formations that should have been impossible. Ships positioned themselves inside the radiation field, using the stellar storm as a weapon delivery system. Others took cover behind asteroids while somehow maintaining target locks through interference that should have blinded their sensors. The thing about Deathworlds, Admiral Reyes said, is they teach you to turn hostile environments into tactical advantages. Your ships are designed to avoid danger. Ours are designed to weaponize it. One of the human vessels fired a single shot, not at the Valkyrie fleet, but at a cluster of asteroids near the mining operation. The kinetic impact sent a carefully calculated shower of debris toward the Imperial formation, forcing them to break formation to avoid being shredded by rock moving at relativistic velocities. That was a warning shot, Admiral Reyes explained calmly. The next one will be aimed at your ships and it will arrive via 17 different vectors using this system's natural hazards as delivery mechanisms. Admiral Kextheron stared at his tactical displays, realizing that his superior numbers meant nothing when the enemy could turn the environment itself into a weapon. His ships were built for open space combat, not for fighting in a gravity well filled with radiation, debris, and stellar phenomena that the humans seemed to control like orchestral instruments. What are your terms? He asked quietly. Complete withdrawal from this system within 6 hours. Medical assistance for the researchers whose life support you damaged. A formal agreement that Valkyrie forces will not enter Terran territory without explicit permission. And if we refuse? Admiral Reyes smiled and Admiral Kextheron realized he was looking at an expression that had evolved on a world where everything was trying to kill everything else. Then you'll discover why the galaxy classifies us as Deathworlders, Admiral. It's not just because we come from a dangerous planet. It's because we've learned to be more dangerous than our planet ever was. The Imperial withdrawal began 30 minutes later. And throughout the galaxy, intelligence services quietly updated their files on human military capabilities, noting that Deathworlders didn't just survive hostile environments, they became hostile environments.